GolfNewsRI presents the Golf Dudes Podcast. Here are the dudes.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Golf Dudes Podcast. I'm Joe Calabro. Thanks for tuning in. A handful of things going on. A fun week, interesting week for sure. So thanks everybody for following. We'll get into some of the indoor golf stuff in a bit. But so a handful of things going on. Obviously, we're following Chris Francoeur through stage 1 of Q-School. He, at the time of this taping, the live scoring hasn't updated yet. So he hasn't posted scores yet. He teed off 9:30 a.m. But he hasn't posted, or they haven't posted his updated scores yet. So as of right now, as of this taping, he is one shot outside of the cut line. He started the round inside the cut line, like we reported on Wednesday, and now he's one shot outside the cut line at 5 under. The cut is 6 under, which is crazy. People are going really low. Last week with Andrew O'Leary, I think the cut was like 2 under or 3 under, something like that. But these guys are going really low, so I'm sure the number's going to move even more. So he's going to have another good round today, and we'll see how he does. So we're following that. Of course, it was great to see golf back on TV late last night over in Japan. To be honest, if we're being honest here, I actually totally forgot that it was on. I forgot they were playing the Zozo last night. Calabro is 6 under. So, and then Live Golf starts their team championship on Friday, which will be interesting to watch. I like Live Golf. I like the team aspect of it. I have to build the team brands, of course. But there's some interesting matchups. Smash versus the High Flyers. So that's Brooks Koepka and Phil Mickelson and that crew. You have the Fireballs versus the Majestics. Sergio versus Henrik Stenson. Basically, you have the Rippers versus the Cliques, which is Cam Smith and then Martin Clymer on the Cliques. And then you have the Stingers versus the Ironheads. Is the last match of the quarterfinals. The Aces have a bye, so I think they should win again. I picked the Force. So all that stuff is going on. Later in the show, in a handful of minutes, I'm going to be joined by Modere business partner Tara Britt. I've known Tara for a while. She used to intern at my dad's office, and she's going to come on and talk about their products and what they have to offer for golfers and how they can help golfers. Like I said, I've known Tara for a while, and she's been doing this stuff with Modere, and so I figured, I'd try to help her out a little bit. So we'll talk a little bit about golf with her, and then she'll talk about some of her products and why it could help you. And of course, you can click on the Modere ad on our website and get, I think it's $10 off the first purchase if you use our click-through or whatever. So we have that coming up as well. So obviously the lead story this week, we've done a 2-part series on indoor golf in Rhode Island. I think it's a interesting, fascinating business. And it was really fun to talk to all these guys. We did 4 or 5 interviews with them. We did real journalism, as they say, this week. But it was really interesting to talk to them, hear how they started, especially the Newport Indoor Golf and V Golf. Both of those guys were the first here. Newport was here first. V Golf followed, within a few months or whatever it was. So it was really interesting to hear their stories, how they started, the research that they put in. The technology is fascinating, which obviously is what makes the whole thing work. So we did a 2-part series there. The first part went up on Tuesday, which was really about the business side of it. Obviously, we did talk about the financials and how indoor golf is projected to grow into like a $3.2 billion business by 2031, which is in a handful of years, obviously. So that was really the business story of it. And Thursday, today we posted the stories behind the rise of indoor golf, and we highlighted all 4 of their stories. All of them have unique stories. Again, V Golf and Newport Indoor Golf, I find, were the most interesting ones, just because they were here first. They really were pioneers in Rhode Island anyway, at the time. So it was funny, Dennis at V Golf talked about how they didn't even know how to like insure it, and the city of Cranston didn't know how to like do insurance for something like this because there was never anything like this. So it was pretty interesting. But to check out both of those articles if you haven't already. I think most people have probably read them, judging by the numbers. But really interesting stuff. There's more indoor golf places opening. I know my friend Peter Walsh is opening his on Saturday. There's a grand opening in Warwick called the Golf 365 RI. So I'm looking forward to being there for that. And we wish him the best of luck. We'll have an article about that as well, to give him some love. And he's venturing now into the indoor golf business. So it's going to be interesting to watch how many more of these open in Rhode Island. There's still all four of these guys that I talked to all say that there's room probably for more if people want it. If people wanted it, there's just such a demand for it, such a demand for golf that it's really interesting. So we'll see how many more open in Rhode Island over the next couple of years or so. I mean, it's a fascinating business. I'm not gonna say I completely understand the entire business. I'm learning about it. Obviously, GolfNewsRI is trying to get involved in it a little bit, not as far as owning a place, but just get our, we want to be involved in the indoor game, just like we're involved in the outdoor game. We want, just like country clubs and golf courses kind of think about us. We want indoor places to kind of think about us as well as for results or whatever it may be. So we're working on some stuff. But it was good to get those two articles out. Like I said, the first one we aired on Tuesday. It was really the business story of it all, and it was a grind to write, but it was good. It ended up coming out pretty good. I was pretty happy with it after I rewrote it 5 times. And then the second story that we went up Thursday morning, went out on our e-blast. It's all on our socials. We kind of highlighted their stories, each person's story. We give them the hyperlinks. We give them the address of their building. And then they literally, as them talking, I edited it just as far as grammar and just to make it kind of make sense. But it's very much in their own words. They tell their stories. It's really interesting to read each story. They're all different. So that's what we have up here this morning. Tomorrow we'll have our Friday. I believe Expand Your Brand is doing a special edition podcast with a guest on Friday. So we'll have that. Plus, you'll have the replay of this podcast and the interview with Tara. So we're looking forward to a big Friday on GolfNewsRI.com. And of course, we'll have Chris Francoeur, a make or break round on Friday, one way or the other. So lots going on in the golf world, locally and on a national scale, of course. So we have all of that for you. It should be a great Friday, and hopefully I'll remember to watch the PGA Tour tonight after the Rangers game. So that's what we have. Cheers. So the PGA Tour was last night. The Zozo Championship, Colin Morikawa is 6 under. He leads the way. They're back in action tonight. Again, I totally forgot that the thing was on. I'm not gonna lie. I meant to watch it, and then I totally forgot. So he leads at 6 under. It's hard to say it's a good field. It really isn't. Joel Dominance, Xander Schauffele is playing. He's 3 under. Seth Tagala, Keegan Bradley's in the field at 3 under. So not a terrible field, but it's not, not gripping television. But it's something on. It's fun to have golf on late at night. I always like primetime golf, so I'm all for it. I just have to remember to watch it. So that is what kind of we have on this week. Again, thanks everybody for reading the indoor golf stories. Again, Peter's Place Golf 365 RI opens on Saturday in Warwick. He's doing like a grand opening, so I'll be down there to check it out for at least a litime. I think it starts at noontime, if I'm not mistaken. We'll have it in the article anyways, but just double check. I think it starts at noontime. I think it goes to like 5. So I'll be there for a little while just to show some support, obviously for him and for business. And again, it's just part of being kind of involved in the indoor business. So it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. And the Top Golf is now there, but it's 2 different things. So that's what we have on GolfNewsRI. Again, we're following Chris Francoeur through Q-School. Let's see if they've updated this yet as far as how he's doing. So as of right now, at 10, I'm taping this at 10:40 a.m. Chris is 1 over for the day, and he's 4 under for the tournament through 4 holes. So right now, he has 2 shots outside the cut line, with obviously the rest of this round and then Friday's round to go. So we'll be obviously following that closely for the next 2 days. Andrew Larry, tough break last week, didn't make it out of stage one. But as I wrote about, it's not necessarily over. Obviously, he'll probably be playing the mini tours, and maybe he'll go for PGA Tour Canada Q-School like Chris Francoeur did last year. So there are definitely options, and we'll check back in with him shortly. I haven't texted him since before this stage one started. I texted him the day before just to say good luck. But I haven't texted him since. I figured, kind of leave him alone a little bit for a while. But he'll be in the mini tour somewhere, or Canada or wherever it may be. So, all hope is not lost. Obviously, it was disappointing to not make it through stage one. It's tough. He got off to a tough start. He was 4 over, I think, after the first 2 rounds, and he had a great rally on the third round. And he was in the mix in the final round, and then I think a double bogey on the back nine, so it sort of cost him the tournament. So, but he'll rebound. Will Dixon is in stage one of Q-School next week. There's so many weeks of stage one. There's obviously so many players. But once they get into stage two, then obviously the final stage. But stage two is very much, I think it's all the same week, if I'm not mistaken. It will be interesting to watch, and I don't know if they are or not. If Davis Chatfield and Patrick Welch play stage two of Q-School, they have an exemption into it through their finish on the Corn Ferry Tour. That's something to keep an eye on next week. I don't know if they will or not. I'm guessing probably not. If I had to guess, I would say probably not, because they already have Corn Ferry Tour stats locked up, and the only thing they can do is get to the PGA Tour. You're gonna get top on the final stage. Well, if you make it to the final stage, you get top five in ties, make it to the PGA Tour. So, but they do have the exemption. It's an opportunity to play competitive golf. And hey, you never know, maybe they catch lightning, maybe they catch fire, and go on a run. But that will be interesting to watch, to see if they end up playing stage two. I was figuring if they ended up getting the exemption into the final stage, I figure they probably would do that, because why not? You have a chance. But we'll see. So that's all coming up this week. Again, stay tuned to GolfNewsRI.com all weekend long for updates on all this stuff. I also think the McCormick shootout is this week at Triggs, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll obviously have coverage of that as well. So lots going on. And again, GolfNewsRI.com is your home for the best local golf coverage in the state and in the region. Now we're going to toss to my interview with Tara Britt. She's a business partner of Modere. And again, I've known Tara for a while. She used to intern in my dad's office back in the day. So it's really just a situation where just trying to help out. And that's kind of where it is. So here's Tara. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Golf Dudes podcast. Joined today by my friend Tara Britt, business strategist for Modere here in Rhode Island. Tara, what's up?
How you doing today?
Good. I was telling people before you came on that I've pretty much known you forever. It feels like you used to intern in my dad's office back in the day, and now you're doing this. But we're kind of wrapping up golf season. So talk about how you got into Modere, how you started doing this, what made you pivot away from accounting a little bit anyway. What was the grab from Modere?
So it's funny that you say that about your dad and being in the office. And as an accountant, I would be there. I started off as an intern and then made my way up. I went from public accounting to private accounting. And I was in that industry for quite some time. And I realized that accounting season was kind of slow during the summertime. And here, being from New England, all of my coworkers and the CPAs that I was partners with decided that golfing was the thing to do. So, being a former athlete and wanting to hop into the golf industry, I learned and maybe started about 4 years ago. So I was able to, be in the accounting world, started golf. I have a 2-year-old boy, and when I had him, I decided that I wanted to be more of a present mom, and I wanted to kind of pivot my career, still be able to help people, maybe still stay in the industry. So I decided to become a business strategist with Modere. I fell in love with their products well before I jumped into business with them. As I was approaching 40, things start to fall apart, especially on the golf course. I was a little achy, and I just wanted to make sure that I still felt great, looked great. I did a ton of research on collagen, and they are the #1 collagen out there in the market. So I kind of just got involved, and now I'm just doing expansion, getting in the golf industry, sharing it with other people.
Now you can find more information about the products that Tara's going to talk about on our website. There's an ad on the side. Just click through, and then you get, I think it's $10 off purchase if you click through the GolfNewsRI link. So this is a huge product for golfers, especially people that are a little bit older, for sure. Like you said, things break down. We've been talking about the sport product and the life product, are the two products I think we've highlighted among others, but those are the main two. So just talk a little bit about those and how those can help people playing golf, whether you're a top amateur or you're a hack like me.
You're not a hack. So yeah, if you don't know how important collagen is for your body, it's basically the glue that holds us all together. It's the most abundant protein in our body. So our connective tissues, our joints, ligaments, tendons, your eyes, your teeth, your hair, nails, skin, especially. It's what kind of keeps us together and helps us feel better. Ours that we have is the #1 collagen on the market, more so because it is the only bioidentical one that is out there, which pretty much mirrors what the human body is doing already. So when we turn, or as we get older, our body starts to deplete the collagen and we start to lose it. So it's super important that you continue to consume it. Therefore, when you feel these aches and pains, that's probably one of the major reasons why. As a golfer, I find that just the improvement of joint mobility, it supports cardiovascular health. So like when you're out there on the course, it's kind of going through your whole system, improves your skin, hydration, firmness. Injuries are common, and this can prevent a lot of injury. However, post-injury and pre-injury, when you go through any type of surgery or whatnot, this is the best thing out there that's going to help you.
Awesome. So check out Modere's products. You can click through again on golfnewsri.com. You can always reach out to Tara if you have any questions, or if you want to get involved yourself. I know a handful of people at Kirkbride use it. They swear by it. You swear by it.
I do. I've been taking it for 4 years, and it's been a game changer for me. Like Joey said, if you have any questions, if you want to learn more about the product or the business, please reach out to either him and I. We are here. I'd be happy to shoot you some more information, give you some more benefits.
Well, don't ask me questions about that, but I'll put you in touch with her. If you have golf questions, ask me about golf questions. But thanks so much for taking a few minutes to come on. You're busy. The kid running around. So thanks for taking a few minutes.
I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. That's Tara Britt, business strategist. Fancy title. From Modere here in Rhode Island. So thanks again for coming on. And this is the Golf Dudes podcast. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the Golf Dudes podcast. Thanks to Tara for taking a few minutes to talk to me about her products and a little bit about her golf as well. She hits the ball a mile off the tee. Like the rest of us, the rest of her game is a bit of a mess, but all of our games are a mess. So, but it was fun to talk to her, and thanks to her for taking a few minutes. So, indoor golf this week. Hopefully, we'll see a lot of you in Warwick for Peter Walsh's opening on Saturday. I will be there, and obviously there'll be an article up on GolfNewsRI.com as well to give you all the information and links and everything else that you need. Peter was when we first launched, or before we launched, Peter was one of there were a handful, but Peter was one of the more important people in helping us get this off the ground, thinking that it was a good idea, giving us some ideas on what to do, what to cover, etc., how to do it. So Peter is a very important person in the history of Golf News RI. Like I said, he was one of the handful of people that we talked to, had multiple conversations with about it before we actually launched. And so obviously we want to give him some love and try to support his business. So looking forward to seeing everybody there. Stay tuned to GolfNewsRI.com all weekend long for updates on the Q-School. Will Dixon is playing next week's Q-School, so we'll have that again. 3 straight weeks of Q-School. It's pretty interesting to follow. Like I said, I've learned a ton about it just over the last 2 years. I've had to learn a ton about it over the last two years or so. So it's pretty interesting stuff. And obviously, check out the Zozo Championship on the PGA Tour and the Live Golf Team Championships, which will be on the CW network, I would assume. So really interesting stuff, really interesting matchups. And golf season is winding down. We do have some things they're trying to do coming up. So we'll keep you updated on those. But for now, that's all we got. This is the episode of the Golf Dudes podcast. Talk to you all weekend long on GolfNewsRI.com. And of course, next week we'll talk to you with a Q-School wrap up. Will Dixon will be in the midst of Q-School. Chris will either make or break on Friday. So that's what we have. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.